Hi, I'm Keith.
And I'm Georgia.
And we're living a dream. Alright, so after we hit the dump station, we're going over to Jordanelle State Park in Heber City, Utah, near Salt Lake City. And we're going to take a little side trip over to the Bonneville Salt Flats on the way down, and we'll also cut through the corner of Nevada.
Welcome to Nevada. Welcome to Nevada.
We still have about 136 miles to the Bonneville Salt Flats. We're in Jackpot, Nevada. Don't get excited, Georgia. We're not stopping at any casinos along the way today. Georgia's frowning right now.
I am not.
Cactus Pete's Casino right there.
Pacific time zone.
Oh, we're in Pacific's time zone now?
That's what's up.
Oh, okay. We are in Pacific time zone. I did not know we would get this far over to get into Pacific time zone. So we won't be in it long. We'll be heading back. We're heading back east soon here. And we got I would say that was a homeless guy camped out on the side of the road with way too many bags to be carrying. So I don't know where he's headed. That was weird. Alright, we just crested the mountain here, and that is the Great Salt Lake, Bonneville Salt Flats.
Welcome to Utah.
Thank you.
Welcome to Utah.
Mountain time zone.
Alright, we're back in mountain time. We only have a couple, 3 miles till we get off of I-80 and go over to Bonneville Salt Flats. Check that out. We are on the Salt Flats. This is Bonneville Speedway out here. They set up and run races out of here and everything. Okay, this is Bonneville Speedway right out here. This is the Salt Flats. Very cool. The salt base out there is just as hard as concrete. All right, we're heading off to Jordanelle State Park. We got about 2.5 hours or 160 miles. That was a cool stop though. Always wanted to see that. Trying to figure out what this thing to my left is. It's like a tree with balls on it, but it's all made out of steel. Somebody will have to explain that one to me. It's the longest, flattest, straightest road other than in Florida I've seen. We've been just miles on this road and it doesn't turn a bit or change elevation at all. On the left it looks like a big giant pile of salt. Cargill, C-A-R-G-I-L-L is the name of the company. Wow. So Georgia's doing a little sleuthing here, and she just told me that 2 million tons of salt come from this lake bed area every year. 40 miles from Salt Lake City, about 80 miles from our campground, and it looks like we'll get in around 2 o'clock or so, give or take. Alright, we're coming into Salt Lake City. Alright, we're leaving Salt Lake City and we're going to cut through the mountains here, I guess, to get over to Jordanelle State Park campground. Alright, so we're only about 1.5 miles from our exit for Jordanelle State Park. Pretty here, real scenic. Jordanelle State Park lies about 35 miles east-southeast of Salt Lake City. The drive between Salt Lake City and Jordanelle State Park is one of the most beautiful we've been on. There is a $20 day use fee to use Jordanelle State Park, but that's included in our camping fees. Our site was around $45 a night, and it included electric and water on site and a dump station down the road a little bit in the park. Hi there, how are you? Thank you. I reserved this site back in May, as well as all the other sites that we've stayed at, taking us all the way through the Grand Canyon. We were lucky enough to get a spacious site with a nice view of the Jordanelle Reservoir. And I think all the sites come with a nice concrete pad and fire pit built right into the side of your site. We arrived on a Saturday, so the campground was pretty busy. It would pretty much clear out by Sunday afternoon, though. This is our first morning here. We're heading off to the Golden Spike area and Ogden Station area. We got probably, I don't know, we got an hour and 45-minute drive around, but we'll see some things on the way. And we're gonna check out a little place called Devil's Slide. Everything to the east of Salt Lake City is mountains. It's extremely scenic. not a flat road anywhere. You're either going up or down. And you can see it's been very dry here. Everything, all the reservoirs and everything are down 20, 30 feet or more. Devil's Slide is a naturally occurring limestone formation that runs several hundred feet up the side of the mountain, protruding 40 feet out of the mountainside. It's about 8 feet wide in between the two walls. Alright, so we're on I-84 West, headed towards the Golden Spike Memorial area. Alright, so the Golden Spike National Historic Site. The Golden Spike National Historic Park is located on Promontory Summit, which was chosen as the point for joining the rails from the east and west. Lacking precise instructions from Congress as to where to meet, and spurred by financial rewards for building grade, both railroad companies prepared rail bed past each other for about 250 miles. No parallel track was ever laid, though. The eastern ascent to Promontory Summit meant crossing the 500-foot wide Spring Creek Ravine. By the spring of 1869, both railroad companies had hurtled over this ravine, each making the leap in their own way. The Central Pacific Company chose to fill in the ravine with some 10,000 yards of dirt. This was known as the Big Fill. The Union Pacific crew from the east decided to build a hastily constructed wooden trestle. Only a few trains ever rolled over this shaky 400-foot-long frame, and all traffic moved over to the Big Fill after a few months. The completion of the East-West Railroad marked the beginning of a new United States. This new form of transportation from East Coast to West Coast was joined by telegraph wire, which was strung along the new track. This meant for the first time East could communicate with West electronically. Ogden Union Station opened in 1869. This station would be the junction for railroad travel in the Intermountain West. It was used for passenger trains until 1997, almost 130 years. We were there on a Sunday, and unfortunately, the museum was closed. Another stop we managed to make in Utah was Park City, a busy little town with lots of restaurants, bars, and shops, all nestled between several high-profile ski resorts. All right, we're coming into Salt Lake City from the north on Interstate 15. and we're going to stop and get a bite to eat in the city and maybe see a little bit of Salt Lake City. We're going to go over to the Temple Square area. While we were there, the entire temple area was in the middle of a huge construction project. So we were pretty disappointed that we weren't able to see the Mormon temple and a lot of the surrounding areas the way we should have been able to if it wasn't under construction. But here's a look at what the buildings look like before the construction. Just that there's not much to see now. The state capitol building opened in 1916. It underwent a 4-year restoration project that was completed in 2008.
On East Capitol Street, then turn right onto Hillside Avenue.
After sightseeing at the Capitol building, it was time to get some dinner. We chose the Red Iguana in Salt Lake City, famous for their Mexican food and mole. Guy Fieri visited the Red Iguana restaurant in Salt Lake City back in 2008, so we thought we'd give it a try. We liked it a lot. Georgia and I had a fantastic day touring the Salt Lake City area. From Devil's Slide to the Golden Spike to the Red Iguana. We enjoyed every bit of it. I hope you'll come back and join us for part 2 in our next episode when we go to Timpanogos Caves and finish our Salt Lake City area visit.